Hello and welcome again. This is another tutorial on how to use Qleaner as an npm package for your React project. Our essence for today is seeing how Qleaner works around big projects and medium scale projects. So I'm going to do a simple demo on how the Qleaner package will be working on e-commerce sites. This is an open source project found in GitHub, and we're just going to go again through the entire process of setting up the init, mostly installing it, making sure it's easily set up, and then making sure that it runs on your project. So for the first thing is we need to make sure that Qleaner is correctly installed as a global package. So how do you install? Npm install global and then type the word Qleaner. That's it. Once that is done, the next thing we need to do is type in Qleaner init. So Qleaner init enables you to create the Qleaner config file. So this helps you reduce the time required to always type a long command. If you have a lot of configurations happening behind the scenes, then you need the config file for that. So the Qleaner config does that for you on your behalf. So let's just go straight to the Qleaner config and let's see what is available. And right out the bat, we have exclude directory, exclude file, exclude extensions, exclude file print, exclude directory assets, and exclude file assets, exclude directory code, exclude file code, and lastly the two, which is root folder referenced and alias. So for the other few videos that we did, one of them was we only did a scan, a pure scan on code. So for this project, I'll show you how to scan an image for images. And remember, what is the purpose of Qleaner? Its main objective is you've written a lot of code and there are files, the components around your project that you're not sure what's still being used and what's not used. And Qleaner helps you identify files that could be too much for the project. And let's just say code that is not really useful for it. So what Qleaner helps you to do is identify them, you confirm them. Once you've confirmed everything is fine or this thing needs to go away, then Qleaner can either delete it on your behalf, because if it's a lot of files, Qleaner can do that for you on your behalf, and or move them to a separate folder called a trash bag, and which will be stored directly on your project. You can rerun the project, confirm everything if everything's working correctly. If not, you can always return them the way it was. So let me just emphasize here on the Qleaner config file, and here on the config file we have the things that we here are listed. So in order for us to be able to understand what to add here, we usually go straight to our project. And I advise don't you can scan any project, I agree, but it's best to scan project that you deeply understand. So if there's a project that you have built on your for yourself, or this is someone else's project that you understand how it's built, then it will be so easy for you to set up the config file. It's not a lot. You won't be filling in a lot of details. It will be just probably naming one or two, three things that you need just to have the Qleaner check or include. All right. So what is important in this config file is this part where we have the exclude file print. So this is how we've currently named it right now, but we will name it differently in the future. But what it stands for is every React project framework has an entry point. In Next.js, it's page.tsx. We have middleware.tsx or .js. We could have layout. We have error page. We have not found. We have the 404s. So all those pages are called entry points. So entry points meaning no one is importing them. for that reason, we usually include those entry points within here. So we want Qleaner to scan them, but not list them as a file that no one is importing. All right. So that is the mostly important one. Exclude files if there are files, specific files that you feel that they shouldn't be scanned. If it's a file that has the same name across different folders, you can always include it here once, and then Qleaner will just make sure that all those files will be excluded. If it's a file extension, they have maybe a common pattern when doing the extension for the extensions, then you can always add them here. So you have like test.tsx. This is just there's no need for us to scan test files, but if you want to scan test files, Qleaner will still do that job, right? So and then everything here at the base are just empty, and the usual node modules, we want to scan them, these files, and build. For images, I think this is where a lot of emphasis will be and its root reference is mostly how relative are your images. So I recommend that projects should have localized images, centralized images, meaning everything you are building on the project. If you have images, try as much to have them in one location. It just helps a lot. Otherwise, if you're going to have them in different places, then you're going to have a problem in identifying if certain images are used or not. Alias means that by default, like something like Next.js that stores files within the public folder, we know for a fact that we don't need to really define the entire path on how to get that image. By default, we can just use a slash folder name, and then that image, or slash that image, and Next.js React will just know where to go. So if you're using aliases, amazing. Leave that the way it is as true. So let's go back to this project, and by default it's an online platform. If you go to GitHub and just look for e-commerce site, React project, you will find it. So I'll just take you through on how I'm thinking about this project. So I'll on an overview without looking at the code, without anything. I just see there are two folders. There's one public, there's one source. We open the source file, we find that it has the image folder. We have another one has the components folder, and then it has app.css, app.js, the data, the index, etc. All right. So we would like our Qleaner, to go through everything. All right. So everything that deals with JS, TS, go through it, and then help us identify are there files that are missing. The bigger the project, the longer it waits, because later on I'll show you another project. I think most of you know about it, but you will realize it's a lot. It has a lot of things, and I will save you time, but I'll show you first. Let's first go through this one, and then I'll show you the other one. So for this one, how I'll go about scanning. So we'll do the image scan and the code scan. So for the code scan, we're just checking are there components that are missing. So by default, when we are looking at exclude file print, we can see that here we had included index.js. Why? Because it looks like an entry point, right? Why? Because you can see it has the React DOM, the render, and all these other things, right? So it seems as if the index.js is the one that will definitely import the app.js. So we don't need to worry. We just need to have this as the entry point. The rest are not entry points because this is a React project. So it means that the rest are definitely imported. So let's do a scan. I already did an init. Make sure you've done your init on your end. So on my side, what I'll do is oh, I forgot. If you are, let's say for example, everything was not within the source folder, they were outside, meaning components, image, and the rest were not within the source folder, and you would like to reference the root folder, all you need to do is just do a scan and then put a dot. But for ours, it's within the source folder. And then number one, you can do a T for a T tag that shows that you want it in a table, a D for showing that you need -D, meaning you need it to run a dry run. Dry run means you don't want to get prompted for anything. You just want to see what's happening, right? Then if it's for the first time, then you can always run those two things and it's done. But if it's a second time you're running a code and you want to do a scan, every rescan, always clear that cache, then rerun it. Alright, so how you do that is just -C and make sure the C is capital. So the first thing I'm going to do is just do an enter, right? So enter. Apparently it's found 20 files. Did packing imports, found 78 files, and we're good to go. So no files were found unused. That's great, right? So let's go to images. So I'm going to say Qleaner, I'm going to say image, and then for this to work, if you need help understanding what to do, what to add, just type -H and it'll give you the directory, root path, etc. Right? So since I know already what to do, I'll just say everything is being now. For this, we have the public folder. The public folder has image also. So I'm not sure in actual sense which one he's using. Let's say, for example, if he was using aliases, then I'll just do scan the image, and then I'll just say public. My image, all the images are centralized within the public, and scan source, check, present for me a table, do a dry run, and put a C for clear cache. Do that, enter, and then it says, hey, we found that logo.svg. Number one, does it exist in code? They say yes, it exists in code, but does it exist actually? And they say no, it doesn't exist. So let's see. So you can see it doesn't exist, and apparently it was referenced in a code. But if you look at the other one, let's see if this other one had nothing. Yeah, so none of them have logo.svg. I'm thinking, could it be inside somewhere? Who knows? So I'm going to go straight to let's say, for example, if it wasn't an alias, they did using references, just put in my -R, do an enter, clear cache, and almost the same thing has been done. So it seems that it doesn't exist. So we've already done the two steps. The next thing we can do, let's say, for example, you did a dry run and you found specific data. It will prompt you, do you want to delete them? What do you want to do? I think since there's nothing here, you can delete a non-existing image. We'll just go for ahead and do a summary. So I'll just do Qleaner summary, type enter, look at that. You can see 23 files, image there 32, image files, wow, image files there 32. Interesting. Okay, okay. Okay, let's do a Qleaner summary. See what happens. Top 10 images, top 10 largest code files. Yeah, things look good. Then we're going to do a Qleaner. You can do a Qleaner summary, and then do a depth, where it gets to show you dead images, hotspots. We have we have top 10 files that are most important. We have the theme context, which is reported 11 times. We have top 10 files with heavy dependencies, top 10 files with light dependencies, and that's cool. So I think so far we've managed to cover a few things. So what that's like, it's that fast for a smaller project. So I did another big project, and this one is very big. I'm telling you. If you do a Qleaner summary, just Qleaner summary, has over 2,831 code files. Around, they say, um, I think probably this is the number of imports. So could be the number of imports, yeah, because it's not probably the number of images. But let's continue. Total unused files, 1,000. This is quite big. So this project is an open source. It's called InfiSQL. I think if you're watching this, I will advise them to take a look at Qleaner and see how to use it, and then work around it. If it's something that can help them, then they can use it. But I feel it's something worth looking at. So I went through this project, looked at it, and found out that it uses a different architecture. Just uses React, but how it's organizing itself is different. So for this one, we found that within the source folder, because it had the front end aspect, and then I think I had other things like the back end stuff right here. But in the front end, we had the pages, and in every folder under pages, it had specific things. One was the route, and then now the page, right? So it seems that everything was being accessed from the route. So the route will decide, and we had, so in every like encryption page had, everyone had route. So route was like the entry point. It's not even the, it won't be the for example, it won't be, let me show you. It won't be KMIP page. It won't be that. The entry point will be route. So how did I also confirm that, double confirm that? This is when you go to something like root. Let me see. Root route. I think it's main. Sorry, main. If you come to main, main has something called root tree. Root tree, click on it and scroll up. All those pages that we've seen, all here, all of them, they're named here, and they're out now. We import the pages, so we're good. So for that reason, even if you did Qleaner init, what we ended up doing, which was really easy, was excluding the main, the route, and probably the read.config. Those ones are entry points. None of us are using them, so we did the scan. I'm not going to do the scan right here. Okay, I could do like, I won't let it finish because it took very very long, but let's see the summary. All right, let's look at the summary. 2000, and let's look at the large files. This was the interesting part, because now if it's a big project, we know we write a lot, right? But there are projects that are too big, like 619 KB. That one is even flagged by Qleaner. Like, this one needs refactoring. Tells you the average total code size. So this is, and then the total images that we have, which is 1.64. This site is well optimized. If we do, I think if we do depth, let's go to depth, and we can see images that have been that have the highest references, gradient logo, 19 times loading, etc. We have image with dead image hotspots. We have message image public images images message. Let's see, public images. Scroll down, look for message. It's nowhere to be seen. So these are dead links, and that referenced like 25 times within the project. And then we have top 10 file hotspots, files that import a lot. For 5, for 4, that's a lot. So it's really insightful for the project developer. I think probably in the next video I might have an online recording with another developer as we go through their project one by one. And then let me know what to share, what to put. And looking forward to your comments. It's really, really important, and it really encourages. Thank you very much for your time. It's been real, Travis.